Hi, good morning. Kellen here. Just wanted to say hey, was thinking about a few things. One thing I was thinking about today is how it feels like nutrition in the American medical society, in medical school or something. Nutrition feels like a broken piece of things in a lot of ways. Probably not for all doctors, but I've been to a couple doctors that it seems to be this strange afterthought where they probably got like one semester of nutrition and a whole bunch on pathology and all these other things. Because I remember the last time I had a physical, I was sitting in the doctor's room waiting to be seen, sitting there with my shirt off, essentially in my boxers, getting ready for like a full checkup and all that. And I'm a pretty lean dude. Like I don't, I'm pretty fit. I have, my abs are visible year round, that kind of thing. And I remember, they said to me, okay, so, going through all the different things, and then, yeah, so you're overweight. By this chart, you're obese. And I'm sitting there, like, trying to keep a straight face, like, okay, is there a reason that, and she's, so you're going to want to bring your weight down. And I'm like, what, why would I want to bring my weight down? Like, is there something that this is dangerous for me, or what, like, trying to understand why they're telling me to lose weight. And, based on, what you've said you eat, you probably eat too much protein and this, that, and the other. And I'm literally like trying not to laugh, trying to figure out, like, and asking, like, okay, so is this bad? Is there something that's wrong with my health here? And like, well, they say that you shouldn't eat so much protein, and that, you want to bring your weight down because you're obese. And anyway, so they went away, came back, and then we are like, you know what? On second thought, you're doing fine. It's okay. Probably whatever you're doing is okay. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. I didn't take their opinion strongly at all, because it was a joke to me that, like, just because their charts don't take into account fat. They don't take into account body fat. They don't take into account lean body mass or anything like that. It's just this BMI chart, which is like, how tall are you and how much do you weigh? And so according to that, I'm obese. Like, I remember sitting on playing Wii one time, Nintendo Wii, right? You get on the little scale, and my little Wii character was always a little fatso because I'm obese, apparently. So it's this type of thing, that coupled with looking at, maybe low carb diets and that kind of thing. Like, everything is about low fat diets, and what's come out in recent years is that the studies that support the low fat idea, those studies, like, the data was fixed, the data was rigged. And so people are going back years and years saying, oh, this Harvard professor was given money in order to say that, or to cherry pick data to show that that fat was bad and all this stuff, and that was leading to heart disease and all these different things. And so now you've got people who go on low carb diets or ketogenic diets and have the best results that they've ever had in their lives, and their doctors are scared for them and that kind of thing. And I don't even think it's doctors, right? Like, my wife just lost 7 pounds in like 7 or 8 days, switching to fats, and it's like, I've done low carb stuff. I know that low carb stuff is good. She's, we've tried different things, and she's still looking at it like, I feel better than I've ever felt, and like, I'm losing weight, and yet it feels wrong eating the way that she's eating. And like, I even have to continue to remind myself that, like, no, fat is good, and just in our culture we've learned that fat is a bad thing. And so anyway, I was just thinking about how it feels like nutrition in this country has been broken for a long time, and it's what it really takes to fix any of it is to educate yourself, and to experiment with yourself, really. Like, you have to figure out what works for you, and you have to do that by looking at measuring your health in ways that are significant for you, and measuring your emotions, your energy, all of that stuff. It really takes that inward look, not just looking out. And there's always information where you can go out and you can look and you can research for yourself and look up studies. And just because a doctor is a doctor doesn't mean that they know specifically about you, your body, and what's going on for you. So like, again, if I had just blanket taken some doctor's advice, then like, I would think that there was something wrong with me for being obese, when it's just because I have a lot of muscle mass, right? For me, I love the way that I feel, the way that I've worked hard for a body that operates and feels the way that mine does. And for some authority figure to say that, like, oh, you're doing it wrong, it's like, am I? Is that true? So anyway, I'm curious, have you seen like cases where you had surprise about nutrition or about your health, and about like how things are different, right? Like, I remember I've also done an experiment for myself where I ate a whole lot of coconut oil. I would add it to just about every meal, and to even my shakes in the morning. And I did this for a month before I had blood tests done, because we were having a work function where they do free blood tests and a health fair and all that. And I remember I did it specifically for that, to see what would happen. And that blood test, I was like 4 years younger than my biological age, and like a year younger than I'd been before. Like, in meaning that my health markers showed that I was healthier than I'd been. And so this was all adding in a whole bunch of saturated fat to my diet, on purpose to test this. So experiment with your own nutrition. That's I guess one of the other takeaways that I want to say here. But let me know if you've had experiences with nutrition that were surprising, or you've seen how the system is broken, or how it works well, right? And I'm not just talking about doctors. I'm talking also about like mass media and all that. If you have experiences, let me know. And have a great day.